Classification. And I'll go through some of this really quickly, and you have it in your hand. So there are different phyla. We're in the kingdom Animalia. The other kingdom is the Plantae, and then who does the classification, there's another classification. But there's plenty of animals. So they say Animalia. Make it Latinized or Greek. And there's a reason for that. I can go through a few of the phyla. Protozoans are in one and so on. You get up above the mollusks, clams, and so on, they start to have legs and so on. And even the night crawler, if you caught night crawlers at night and you try to pull them out of the hole halfway out and so on, I can tell you what they're doing, but anyhow, I won't. But you grab a hold of one and pull, and you get a little resistance. And if you keep pulling, pretty soon you don't pull too hard. If you pull too hard, you have two worms, but they're only half each. Right? But if you kind of pull gently and so on, finally their legs, the muscles in to their seta, and it's really just a little peg that fatigues. And so you keep pulling, pretty soon that fatigues enough, and you pull the worm out of the hole. All right? So they have in the seta, but they're kind of like legs, because they can crawl with them and so on. The first ones that have jointed legs are the crayfish, spiders, wasp ticks, and bees. Mites in there and so on. Arthritis, inflammation of the joint. Arthro means joint. Poda, you go to a podiatrist, he's a foot doctor. So arthropoda, joint-footed animals. Class Insecta, and there are other classes, but the distinguishing characteristic of them is three body regions, a head, thorax, and abdomen. Well, we have a head, thorax, and abdomen, but they're not quite as distinguished as separate units. The head is obviously, but our thorax and abdomen seem to do one. All right? The insects usually have wings. In science, we don't say always, because you can find an exception to the rule. And so we say usually have wings. Most of them do have wings. And then jointed legs, which the name implies, the arthropod. Orders. There are a number of orders. And when I was in grad school, I had to know all of them. I don't think I could name all of them now. But there's 26, 27, all kinds of numbers, how many orders you have. And the lower orders are kind of the dumb animals. The silverfish, there's a number of others. I use the term loose dumb animals. They're just not as smart as the honeybees. The most intelligent of the orders of insects are the Hymenoptera, including the honeybee. Latin and Greek terms, hymen means a membrane, and the P-T-E-R-A, you see that in the word, is wing. So it's a membrane wing. See the butterfly is Lepidoptera. Lepidoptera means scale. If you take your fingers and rub on the wing of a butterfly, you get a little dust on it. You look at it in the microscope, it's a little scale like the shingles on the roof, and it's just overlap like that. Hymenoptera, venom, varies in composition, strength. Families include formicity. They can give off the formic acid, and that can be used as a deterrent to mites and so on, or kills mites if you put it in high concentration. Honey has some of the formic acid in it. Sphaecidae, some wasps, they feed on other insects, provision their nest with other insects. And their venom is often with two inflammatory components, and we mentioned some here. Some people are allergic to the honeybee venom. And my wife back there is highly allergic to the honeybee stinging her. And she's after he became allergic, I don't think he's been strong since, except by the doctor. He was a shot once in a while. had the sensor on our temperature gauge in the house, the one outside, the battery was going dead. And I was sitting there and I heard her open the door to go outside. She couldn't go out and change those batteries. She did, and all of a sudden I heard her scream. She got stung with, I don't know how many times, with a wasp. Uh-oh. Well, your hand swelled up just a little bit, but no effect whatsoever. There's a difference in the venom. Honeybee venom is different than the others. Okay? The Velidae, softflies, which are plant feeders, bumblebees, very important group of organisms, very good pollinators. Bob mentioned with history, 1622 they brought honeybees over here. There weren't any honeybees over here. There were pollinators, but not the honeybee. But we brought the honeybee over here mainly for food, for honey. Well, now, we shifted. That is the most important feature. The most important feature is that they're used for pollination, as I mentioned with the pollen. There's probably 1 million or more hives out to California if they get them. Right? They get money for it. Bumblebees, they're very hard to, they're not as sociable. And right now, I mentioned somebody else that I can go out here right now. I'm not going to go through that cold. But dig down under the snow and in the leaf litter, and I possibly could find you a bumblebee. Down in the leaf litter. They don't live in a colony. The queen bee, which is a bumblebee, is just a female bee, fertilized and so on. She's a queen, but not like the honeybee. She's laying the litter until the weather warms up and she'll come and start a colony herself. Do all the duties and so on until she gets rid of the Apidae. This is the family of the social insects in the United States. And of course, Apis mellifera. The genus Apis, sometimes it's just a name, but the species is very descriptive. And mellifera, means honey or sweet, and F-E-R-A means to flow or to bear. Venomous acidic, it contains formic acid. Venom smells like bananas. I'm not very good at the computer, so next sentence starts with capital letter. So venom smells like bananas, so it's exciting. When you get stuck, as I thought, you're going to get stuck somewhere along the line. You can smell it. To me, it smells like bananas. What that does is that will attract other distinguished. So you want to smoke it and that sort of thing. That's part of the reason why you smoke. Right? Just a little sideline. I had some bees on Farmer's Place. Some people call gentlemen farmers, others go to quickers over them. But I loaned it, and my beehives, the wind blew over. And so, really high wind. And the gal said, well, I can put those bees back up, but I need soup. And she was about my size, so I had the soup. I sent it with her. Well, over the years, they hung on to it. When we moved down here, I wanted to get that soup back, and I answered I got the soup back. It took a long time before I got the soup back, and finally I did. And which patched here and there and so on and all kinds of stuff. And Marilyn washed it, and so on. And for about a year, every time I put that soup, the bees would hit me in a certain place and sting through it. But they would just like this, and over here, like this. It took about a year for that to